All right, welcome everyone to Hat In Time. A lot of times that we've shown off this game in various marathons, it's been any percent. But today I'm going to be showing off a bit of a longer category that I personally prefer. Deathwish All Stamps, which is Deathwish is part of the first DLC. It's a cool challenge mode of this game, which it turns it takes a lot of the levels from the main game, makes challenge versions of them, and a few other levels on top of that as well. And beating every challenge gives you a stamp. So we're gonna beat all of them in this run. And with me, I have another hat runner to help me out, commentating. You want to introduce
Hello.
yourself, Banana?
Yeah, hi, I'm Boar Banana. I don't do Deathwish runs, but I've watched enough to be able to help fill in some of the gaps while Albie concentrates on the very difficult levels that she'll be playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be much more difficult levels than in the main game, and we're gonna start with everything unlocked. As you see here, I have my Deathwish file here that is 56 timepieces. So it's kind of an NG plus category for us to get started here with. So I'm just going to have the timer start when I open the file. So we can do that in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. And as you can see, nothing done in Deathwish, not even having talked to Snatcher yet the first time, but everything else fully completed. So I have all the hats, all the badges, which will help me out. Another thing that will... the camera locked there for a bit, but it's fine. Another thing that will help me out a bit in this run, as you can see in the name of the category, this is a lag abuse category. You can do this.
Yeah,
lag.
so the game is very prone to some lag, and the physics engine goes a bit funky when you do lag. So we have a program that allows us to lag the game by 0.4 seconds at the press of a button, which allows Albie to do some really cool movement tech like that, lag shot, some lag warping, which is a combination of lagging and jumping at the same time and going back to your most previous safe spot. So using a combination of that to move around the level as fast as possible to get all these 6 faucets.
And lag warping, it's really combining a mechanic in this game called stuck warping, where if you get stuck for long enough, then the game will send you back to your most recent save spot, which you just happen to be able to activate by jumping and lagging enough times. And here's another thing.
I think the act of lagging is like, it thinks that you're just stuck in the air.
Yeah. Also, another thing you saw there that I'll be doing a lot is I got into the timepiece before it spawned, and then I did a reset in order to get out of the level sooner, because the normal animation to pick up a timepiece is like 8 seconds, which is a lot longer than dying from doing a Deathwish reset. And you can start the Deathwish reset a little sooner as well. You can save a lot of time from it. And I didn't make it all the way. Oh, I did. Barely.
So Albie talked about earlier that she's going to do all these Deathwish levels. One thing that I guess we didn't mention was each level has 2 bonus objectives that also count as stamps. So each level, it's not only just beating the level, which in itself can be difficult. It's also got a restriction that you need to do. She needs to full clear them, because if you don't full clear them in one go, you're going to have to just do the level again most of the time. I think this one is beating it fast and smashing all the UFOs, yeah.
Yep, those are the bonus objectives there. You can see the objectives on the left, except one thing they patched pretty early for Deathwish is that most of the bonus stamps, you can't actually see them until you've cleared the level once. But luckily we know what the bonus stamps are, so we can fully clear it anyway. The reason they did this is because there were a lot of people that were getting really frustrated because they were trying to get the bonus stamps thinking that they had to get them all at once, when that wasn't the intended experience of Deathwish. We're intended to have one challenge at a time, really. That was the difficulty level that they were going for, where beating the level was its own challenge, and then each bonus stamp was its own challenge.
So as speedrunners, you just obviously make it harder for yourself, right?
Yep.
That's the idea.
Exactly. Another thing we're doing to make it harder for ourselves here is I'm actually not just doing the challenge of this level, which you can see exactly the bonuses for this level on the left, but I'm also going to be collecting some Snatcher tokens. So there's candles that you can activate that will give you extra challenges you can do outside of the main challenge levels. One of them is collecting Snatcher tokens in all the major areas. So I'm going to be collecting all 3 Snatcher tokens in Mafia Town in the middle of collecting enough pawns here to finish this level. And another hard way I'm doing this is I'm gonna intentionally try and make the timepiece not spawn here by spending just enough time on the ground to not make it spawn, so I can make it spawn down here for a little strat I'm gonna do. And to spare your ears, I'm gonna mute here for a second. I should have paid more attention. That's really bad.
That's okay. You got the tokens, so that's fine. So yeah, there's a bunch of those candles. I think each world has 3 tokens, but you need to unlock the ability to collect those tokens at some point in your Deathwish journey. And there are other candles that need to be done. One of them is killing one of every enemy later, taking a photo of all the bosses. So there's a bunch of side stuff Albie's gonna have to do and take into account in her routing, just through the levels in general.
I should have probably reminded myself of the old route in case I failed that, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna do the route and then just go up and grab more pawns somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll just do this. Grab these. This is a lot, and then there's a lot of pawns here. So I'll just grab some here. There we go. That wasn't too bad of a backup.
As someone who is not up with the meta, I know it used to be a glitch where you could restart warp into a timepiece and get some bonuses. Is that in this category, in this patch, or is that patched out?
That was in the pre-DLC 2 patches. I'm just gonna put this on. So that used to be a strat in Deathwish 90%. Deathwish 90% is now faster on Yakuza patches, so that's not a thing anymore. But it was never a thing in this version of All Stamps anyway. Before Yakuza came out, then All Stamps obviously wasn't on Yakuza patches. Yeah. But now that there is a extra bonus challenge for the Snatcher coins in Yakuza, you have to do a Yakuza patch for All Stamps. So that's just never been a thing in this category for as long as I've run it. And the bonuses here, the reason why I stepped out of the Deathwish menu there for a bit to make sure to put on a stamp. One of them is to clear this level with the one-hit hero badge on, and the other is to not miss a single opportunity to attack Mafia boss. So the second stamp is simple enough for speedrunners. It's basically how you'd play anyway. But the one-hit hero badge does make this level a lot more difficult. Oh, yeah. That was very scary.
One hit and you gotta do it all again. It's not great.
Yeah, especially when he decides to do the spinning across the screen immediately after jumping to the crowd. That is the worst combination of attacks. As you noticed there, me getting a little scared. And there we go, that's a quick kill.
Nice. Good quick kill. So yeah, using the ice hat to stop your horizontal momentum when Mafia boss tries to throw you away, you can then activate your brewer hat in the pause menu and pull out a brawl potion. While you're holding a brawl potion inside the Mafia boss while he's going up onto the Mafia ball, it displaces him, pushes him off the arena. And then in this game, a lot of the time when bosses fall outside of the stage you're fighting them in, there's a death plane that they'll fall into. And if they hit that, generally you just win the fight, which is quite useful for a lot of these bosses. Ooh, is that a double? Okay.
Didn't take double damage, that's nice. That would have been kind of scary, because...
So, yeah, this is Bird Sanctuary. Killing any of these birds will do a damage to you.
This is intentional.
Because
I need to do this strat. And the birds will definitely get in the way of me projectile badging here. So that's the only intentional damage on this level. I can optionally kill a crow, which if I kill 2 crows in this level, it's faster than doing it later. But I'm only on 2 HP, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, one of the main objectives here is to go and kill, there's like 9 Mafia dudes who are just standing around, which makes you go everywhere around this level. A lot of the time you just go straight to the end and it's pretty trivial. But trying to get to everywhere, defeating the Mafia who are often surrounded by these birds is very difficult.
Well, that's a problem.
What? He's joined you.
Yep. I figured it out.
Luckily, this one you don't need to do all in one go. Like Albie was saying, you can just get a bonus, and this level, as I was saying, is very short. So just doing a restart there to then basically beat the level.
It is theoretically faster to do it all in one go, but have fun with that. And it doesn't even save much time. That's a little skip you can do there. You can't actually do this SDJ skip that you'll see us do in other categories, but you can't do that one for some reason. Only blocks one of the strats.
Alright, now we get to hear one of the best songs in the game. What?
Yep, we don't do it again.
Oh my gosh, you baited me hard.
Yep.
That was crazy. I got so excited.
You'll get to hear it a lot later. But that is
So
actually that is the fastest way to get to Alpine. At least IGT.
Yeah, so before Albie was kind of stuck in the bedroom, she could have left and walked down to Alpine, but by entering the rift and then leaving, the game kind of assumes you just left the rift level and puts you at the Alpine telescope instead of the bedroom as you would go to if you left most other Deathwish levels.
Yeah, it means we can't do it for 4 minutes, but we'll just do other levels.
Damn, hard lock on the optimization of the category. Won't be under 4 minutes.
There was actually one that I considered the 4 minutes as part of my routing, but now I want to do Hell Rush earlier, so at this point I just don't care because there's so many other levels to do.
And that is an interesting thing about this category as well. There's no real defined route, right? Because you need to do every level, and beating one level will unlock or at least go towards unlocking multiple other levels, and you get so many stamps, you can kind of do almost any order you want. There are restrictions, of course.
Yeah, like this one has
But you
7 stamps to get here. There's a few restrictions like that. Some of them very trivial to get, like this one. Others, I did actually previously plan around having 15 stamps as soon as possible for Bird Sanctuary, because I don't like doing the Marfey section in Bird Sanctuary, so I wanted to have it as soon as possible.
Alright, Hootenanny. Everyone's favorite level. The bonuses here are not getting hit by the parade and not letting any of the Grooves tokens time out, which is kind of at the mercy of RNG sometimes, but...
Luckily, we do have the time stop hats, so it shouldn't be too bad.
That's true.
Doing this level without the time stop hat is like when 10% is a lot worse.
Just vibing to the parade music. Oh, I love parade.
Is it like Stockholm Syndrome or like actual love?
Yeah, a bit of that.
Oh! This
So
might
I
be the
believe
wrong position.
You can fall into the crowd, correct? But you just can't get hit by the owls following you?
Yep. I could have maybe made that, but I didn't want to take the chance.
It's much better to be safe for sure.
Oh god. This...
Oh, round 2?
Yep, this is where I like having time stop, especially with these guys having been time stopped there. like see how fast that is. Because they're moving normal time, even though I was using time stop there. Okay, good. I saw it back there and I was like, not again.
It's going well so far. Oh! I spoke a little too soon. That was crazy.
Yeah, I took that a bit risky to try and not lose time. But it's fine. Figured it out.
That's alright. Albie's skill will always come in clutch like that.
I definitely have died from that one. That was no big deal because there's no cutscene here. So I don't lose any time there. Yeah, at this point it's just get like one more token and then don't get hit.
Just don't get hit.
Luckily I can get hit by like basically everything except the parade behind me. Yeah, the parade behind me means I need to keep it moving.
Keep moving. And sometimes if you get hit by something else, you get stuck, and then once you recover, it's just like you're inside the parade anyway, and
if you're
weird, unavoidable things can happen.
If you're inside of the parade, you can actually just rely on iframes, if you're lucky enough.
Oh.
I've had that a few times.
Yeah, just don't get hit.
One more level before the dreaded level, because I need to unlock jumpless candle first. It's this one. So this is the amazing music that Banana was talking about earlier.
Music. And I'm trying to get my bearings because these levels are mirrored. I always get confused.
I don't get super confused because I like learned the movement for full clearing this level, whereas you don't really full clear in
that's
shorter
fair.
categories. the main situation where I got confused was when I tried to do all rifts, all DLC, and I tried to do the Sleepy Subskunk on both versions.
Yeah, I could see that being. So I think the full clear for these is all of these rift collapses are get all ponds and have 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yep.
Is that correct?
That is correct for every single rift collapse.
Oh.
It's a little bit too far away from the ledge.
And if you're doing this casually, you don't know if you have all the ponds until the very end when you walk into the thing and it's like, oh, too bad. There's no real way to tell if you got them all before moving on.
Yeah, but we know exactly how many pawns are needed. Or at least I remember for a few levels.
You've only done them once or twice.
Oh yeah. I need to do them more. So yeah, I nibbled the 2 candles there. Both are required for what I'm gonna do in this level. One of them is jumpless. Which is a dreaded extra challenge in Deathwish from a lot of people doing it casually. And dreaded from me as well, because I have to do this level jumpless. Because one of the bonuses on the jumpless candle is to do Train Rush without jumping, which you can either do the regular Train Rush level, which is a lot easier, but it's not a required level, or you can do this required level jumpless, but it's a lot worse. A lot more switches to get up to, and other things complicating the jumpless experience.
Yeah, so there's the jumpless bonus you're trying to do, get all the tokens. That was crazy. What? Did you get double hit there? What was that?
Yeah, I got double hit. I've never seen that. Apparently, iframe stopped existing because I got trapped under that or something.
That was you got an insane dive angle off the first platform, and then got double hit on the next one. That was something special for sure.
I'm taking a lot of extra damage. I'm gonna grab that health pawn.
And yeah, Albie's clearly going out of the way for those tokens because she needs to get all of them before the end. That's the main train rush goal. But then, like she was saying, also has to do this jumpless.
There's also one for doing this level 1-hit hero, and you might be noticing I don't have 1-hit hero equipped. How does that work? Well, just like in the level to do Mafia Boss with 1-hit hero, there's a volume that basically checks, alright, you started the level properly, so we're gonna start doing the 1-hit hero check, rather than it just starting immediately as you enter the level, so you don't have to come into the level with it equipped necessarily, if you just remember to equip it right away. So because of that, you have to actually trigger the volume, and for some reason, even though we go through the volume doesn't trigger. It just doesn't work. It's never worked. So you can just do the level without 1-hit hero and just put on the 1-hit hero badge at the end, and it'll be like, oh, okay, you did it, 1-hit hero. Seems legit.
Very lucky, because I feel like doing this jumpless with 1-hit hero.
Oh, I would never.
Almost be not possible.
I don't think it
oh my
would.
gosh.
It would maybe barely, but it would suck. Aside from grabbing the Snatcher token, this section is the worst.
Yeah, that was something else she had to do. One of the Snatcher tokens was in this level. And so, not only did she have to do it jumpless, and get all the Conductor tokens, also needs to go out of her way to get the Snatcher token, and do it without dying, and Yeah, there's a lot going on in that level. But it's over now. It's all downhill from here.
Hmm.
It's all just an easy category from now.
Oh yeah, with zero RNG as well.
Oh,
And also,
speedrun well, easy level.
yep. I can jump now, right? I can't.
Nope. So the other bonus on the jumpless candle is doing 4 levels jumpless.
Yep.
So yeah. I'm not sure what 4 levels are done, but this is clearly one of them.
Yep, and this is the reason why. It says retry/return to hub, so you can just stop the in-game timer during the cutscenes in this level. So, because you can stop the cutscenes when you're doing jumpless, but not when you're jumping, the time difference actually isn't that much, IGT. It's like 5 seconds or something, which is kind of disgusting for a level like Subcon level. You can just do that and just wait out this entire cutscene. You don't even have to wait for the charity to destroy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, that's pretty cool. And so the cutscene then loads while you have the menu up, right? Or like the next area, I mean?
Yeah, the cutscene keeps going while the restart Deathwish thing's there.
Oh,
And I'm gonna complete the jumpless stuff later. And I'm gonna go to some other difficult stuff soon, once I've done the required levels.
yeah, so some levels don't only require like a number of stamps to unlock, they have prerequisite levels as well. So, like for example, Albie's only first option for the very first level was beat the heat. And then that unlocked a couple of other levels that then required stamps, which in turn unlocked other levels. So there are, you know, a set order to level requirements. And some of the harder ones are locked behind some levels, kind of deep in Deathwish.
Yeah, so 2 levels that I've routed my route to be pretty early are Gauntlet and Cruising for a Boostin'. Gauntlet because it's one of the worst levels in the game, one of the most difficult, and Cruising for a Boostin' because it's the most RNG level in the game.
I forgot about Cruising. I'm so excited.
Cruising is unironically my most played level in the game, regardless of whether Deathwish or not. And that is a great example.
Cool thing you can do. Yeah.
Great example of why we use the projectile badge and not just the magnet badge. You can grab them from so far away. So yeah, you're seeing me do all the rrlat8s in a row, so you get to enjoy this amazing music for longer. Convenient to both because this is what it's required to unlock Christopher Bruson, and also because they all use the same badge setup of magnet badge and the projectile badge. So doing them all in a row makes a lot of sense. I could do the other time rep levels here as well, but I want to get the more difficult stuff out of the way generally before that, so I leave them for later. Another thing that for a moment I didn't do, but I've rerouted it to be the last level of the run, is Deal the deal boss rush is right at the end.
Right, yeah. That's fair.
I believe I usually have 8 enemies killed at this point, not 7. I haven't missed any though, so I should be fine. I got obscure ones like the egg, I do remember that, so I don't think there's anything I'm missing out on.
And the octopus.
Yep.
Those are the only 2 obscure ones I know. Oh, and the rat.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the rat in this level. I used to do the rat in Yakuza, and I could still do that, but I think it's slightly better to do it in this level now that I have a projectile badge.
I think it's also nice to just get out of your mind, worry about other things.
Mm-hmm. It's not optimal to get down to 1 HP here, because there's one more time where it's optimal to take damage, and it's also scary for those Mafia guys. But it worked out. And then I'll have to be mindful of it in the final room.
Yeah, the projectile badge is pretty crazy here.
Yeah, MOC is definitely one of the levels that saves more time from the projectile badge. And then we have your favorite level, Deep Sea.
Yes, let's go. Oh, deep sea enjoyers, where are you? Holy.
And because we have to get all the rift pawns, you have to see the entire level.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy.
Gonna do that. Because I failed the SDJ.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about deep sea. It's just much harder than the other pink rift levels. It's very long. And,
I think it's just all the paths are so long
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The paths are so long that if you fail once, you have to go through like the full path again, and it sucks.
Do you fight the evil box? Oh, hardest box in the world. I don't know why, but walking up that box is very jank for me.
I've had to get used to it. Slight optimization there to use the ISAT badge. Awkward. Can I still get the legwork? Nice.
Nice. So one thing about we were talking about safe spots earlier with lag warps. Your safe spot doesn't update if you're on the ground for just 1 frame, and you're able to buffer jumps slightly, so you can jump as soon as you hit the ground if you just hold jump before hitting the ground. And so we're able to carry our safe spot for quite a while if we want to like hold it in one spot and walk back to it later.
Here I'm gonna do a really annoying projectile batch strat. There we go. And just barely, if the line is bouncing, get projectile badge off there.
Oh my gosh, I was wondering why he kept swapping to rrlat8 when doing lag SDJs.
Yeah, it's because I'm on keyboard.
Yeah, it's slightly different on keyboard and controller. I'm just used to watching controller.
Yeah, Doka does the other way around for his swap, so he does switch to default hat. For me, it's Brewer. And then here I'm gonna take a lot more damage than you've seen me do throughout the level.
Yeah, this level, this part's got a lot of damage abuses because there's lava everywhere. You can do a bunch of lava bounces.
Luckily, there's also a lot of convenient health pawns. And I think I'm also gonna grab the extra health pawn, potentially. One down here.
Gosh, this level is so long.
And up the movement there slightly, but it's fine. And we drop down here. The level's over.
Ooh,
Just-
the quad.
Oh yeah. The quad is really hard there, but if you stop the Rift Ball just early enough, you can get the quad. And now, unfortunately, we won't get to hear that music again. But
It
we
was
get to hear
fun.
some other good music.
We got to jam out for quite a while to that. That was very good.
Mhm.
So the bonuses here are one hit hero and don't spend more than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
The one hit hero, again, just has a big trigger, but Albie is going to be skipping the trigger.
Yep. The trigger is going into the windmill, so I'm gonna enter the windmill in an unconventional way by sipping into a hazard respawn volume. That way avoiding the volume. Up here.
Oh, what? That was crazy.
Yeah, I've done that landing enough times, I know how that physics works. It looks very jank, but it is actually consistently working that jank. So grab that snatch a coin and then I go here to the end with this volume.
Yeah, so there's just a volume there that acts as a checkpoint to get you a little further in the level. Equip one hit hero to make sure you have it when you enter and grab the timepiece, and it counts. And somehow that wasn't 4 minutes because it was only 1 minute. That's how maths works.
Yep. That was wrong batch. And now a level that I've been referencing earlier. The second hardest level in this run, I think, aside from
Yes.
10 seconds to self-destruct that I did earlier, they called Hell Rush.
So the idea of this level is you're meant to kill all the enemies, but the way the game kind of quote-unquote forces you to do that is there's 3 gates that defeating the first set of enemies will drop the first gate, defeating the second set of enemies will drop the second gate, and then the same for the third. But we're able to skip the first 2 gates, and so we're able to skip killing all these enemies, but the skip is kind of...
Did the dive cancel slightly too late? You only barely have enough height to do the skip, and I did the dive cancel too late, so it's just barely too low to get the climb over.
but it is still much faster than going around and killing all the enemies. And the other bonus is not getting burnt, which a lot of the birds are on fire, and getting hit by them would count as getting burned.
It's always awkward when I have to do it with these guys attacking. Can't seem to get the... Nope.
Oh.
Didn't see it about there. I tried something. Barely too high. Usually don't struggle this much with this skip, but I guess that's okay to show off it being difficult.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice. So able to get slightly past the wall into the next checkpoint and do a restart, which respawns you in the second part of the level. And then now we need to skip the second gate.
The restart isn't actually required, but the old way we used to do it, which didn't require it, I was really bad when I was trying to learn it, so much so that I managed to find this other way accidentally. Or well, I found sort of how to do it, and luckily Doka was watching, so he saw it and was like, "Oh my god, that actually works!" And he turned it into the strat, and it saved like 3 seconds. So we ended up having the skip be easier and faster, which is pretty cool. Here I'm doing my first ultra jump.
Oh yeah, ultra jump. So by turning on auto jump, I believe like as you're starting a jump, you're able to then force yourself to jump really high. I don't really understand the physics behind it, but
it's like you have the jumping power of 2 jumps. You get you get the jumping power of the auto jump and your own jump that you were already doing.
And now we have to kill the remaining enemies in this area without getting burnt.
I messed up. I should have photographed them beforehand. I'll just photograph something later. That's another thing. I turned on camera badge for this. Trying to photograph a bunch of enemies. Because this is a level that has like a bunch of them, so why not do it right now?
Yeah. So yeah, even though it looks like the game is saying like defeat all the bad guys and all 99 are not going to be defeated, that progress bar is not actually anything. It's just the timepiece is behind a gate and you just get the timepiece.
Oh. It exists there to help out casual players. It's not actually how it's programmed.
Yeah. And yeah, this level is very nice for killing every type of enemy because there are a lot of enemies in this level.
Ooh, I got a quad.
That was crazy.
I don't normally get a quad there.
That Mafia guy stood no chance.
There we go. Normally it would be 43 out of 99, but I killed 2 in the first section because of how long it was taking. Yeah, I did most of what I was supposed to do in Gauntlet, and the rest I'll figure out later. This is the other level I wanted to do early. Cruising for a basin.
Get excited.
So this is the longest level in the game, and the most RNG heavy.
Yeah, so this is a much harder version of Ship Shape. The idea is there's a bunch of tasks around the ship that you have to go deliver to specific spots, but which ones spawn and random. Where they go is like defined by the ones that spawn. The main objective is get 40, and then the bonus is get 40 without any tasks timing out, and then get 70. So really we don't really care about the main objective because getting the bonus will just get the main objective. And we're just hoping for a bunch of good spawns and decent routing. I am bad at Ship Shape, so when something spawns, I'm like, oh, cool. I guess that spawned.
Yeah,
but there are ways you can manipulate things and do some weird stuff, I think.
Yeah, it's based on which part of the level you're in. So
yeah,
you can only have stuff spawn that's like within 2 rooms of you, and the stuff that's within 2 that it's 2 rooms away from you is like more likely to spawn, I think, or something.
And I think it tries to spawn tasks between you and other tasks. So if you know there's one you're going to in a bit, you can sort of manipulate it to be done later, so another task spawns near it. But it's all kind of just...
Yeah, that aspect of manipulating the RNG is one that I haven't learned.
It's all kind of just get the tasks and deliver them. How hard could it be?
Yeah. And another, I guess, semi-random thing, it's not really random. If you know the timer, you know when the tasks can spawn, but just like 3 separate timers that are running, that are checking if a task is gonna spawn. So
one thing that is sort of in Albie's toolkit is the ability to lag clip out of bounds and walk back to the captain, which is kind of central to a bunch of areas.
I consider the lag clip there.
Damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll take damage if she does that. There's only a finite amount of health ponds, so using that resource sparingly is sort of important as well.
Yeah, one thing I do for this level is I make sure I don't go into this level with magnet bench, so I can have extra health ponds around if I need them.
Yeah, the 2 between kitchen and the dining room are really good as well, because that's a decent place to lag clip.
I've had like 1 optimal lag place so far when I was going to deliver the batteries, but I'm not good at that lag, so I decided not to do it. Other than that, there hasn't really been an optimal one yet. But there's probably going to be one eventually.
So yeah, a main like aspect of getting good at this level is learning how to sort of the best routes between each specific room, and sometimes even like specific tasks. When she gets to 40 and is allowed to let tasks time out, it's also decent to know which tasks are really bad and just like kind of leave them. But for now, obviously that's not an option. It needs to do 40 without any failing.
I could theoretically skip that baby, I think, but it's so tight, and there's a baby later down there, I think. No, there wasn't, but I'm gonna pick it up.
Playing chess with the game. That's basically what's happening right now.
Unremarkable messages. For me, you shouldn't have.
I'll deliver one.
Awesome. climbing Mersil, my favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it with the hook shot instead of the other place. Because I have way too many tasks right now.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about like the main aspect of ship shape, the wobbling.
Yeah.
The more you carry, the more you wobble. So as you pick up more items, I think it's up to 5. It gets harder and harder to control Hat Kid. If you hold 2 items, you can't dive boost properly, so that's why Albie's just sprinting everywhere instead of dive boosting.
Of course, I keep getting opposite side pills.
Jumping off walls is also really hard for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and getting toolboxes, they can go just like right next to where you pick them up, but picking one up in the yellow side of the ship and it going to the orange constantly is not great.
This might be cool. It's not. That's fine. I'm gonna move towards pool anyway. Might have to go to Mercial immediately, actually. That'll be the safe option.
Maybe just from pool.
Especially since I have a baby, I think I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Or I'll grab this, I'll grab the other baby on the way. I'll just do that. Now I get no speed from diving into that because I have all these babies I'm carrying.
The babies.
Yeah, at this point, I pretty much don't
All
have
3
to worry.
drinks going to different areas. That's crazy.
2 of them went right next to each other.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you picked one up and it went to brown.
Now I can actually start skipping stuff like that, baby. Actually, that's... I might actually pick it up. Because there are 2 stuff here. I don't know if that's optimal, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
And then I got like all the instant Mercial tasks spawning immediately after, okay.
Of course.
I guess I'm going back to Mercial.
Yeah, Mercial has a particular task that you don't deliver, you just go and do, which is very nice.
That's also typical. I considered jumping back up there, but it will probably take too long.
Yeah, so now deciding like which ones are just worth leaving and which ones are worth doing is...
The birthday cards for my friend. Please, give him them.
Round 2 of chess, new mental aspect.
I'm gonna do this.
Personally, I just do whichever tasks I find the most fun. It's not about speed. It's about the journey.
Happy birthday to me. Thank you, fellow messenger.
I think that
I forget that guy says that. Happy birthday to me.
Thank you. There we go, same
Nice.
side tools. Love to see it. Few great ways to grab that one that's high up there. It's either standing on the bucket itself or standing on the the carts that roll
Trolley
across. Yeah.
Yeah.
The trolleys
And,
are bigger, so they might be easier to land on if the cycle's good, but it wasn't there, so I had to land on the bucket. So much info, I'm gonna do this. It's all spread out and cool, but we have 2 delivery tasks, which is guaranteed good. We'll see what the other stuff is. One of them is a baby. Mercial? Okay, I was planning to lag club out of here, but I guess I'll go to Mercial. Mercial stuff might run out, actually. Yes, that's 2 really good tasks in Mercial that are running out here, unfortunately. I was planning to deliver the food, but I might just let it run out. Oh, I'm gonna get
kind
it.
of out of the way.
I'm taking a risk here on same side tools. Oh yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's really good.
Actually, doing kitchen might have been faster, but it's more consistent. There we go.
Done. And no time piece to collect there because it's more of a how long can you survive challenge. So once you get 70, you can just exit back to hub and you have your token. Stamp, whatever they're called.
Yep. And now,
Alright. Good luck.
you see, I'm gonna take pictures of every boss, except I'm gonna skip one in this boss rush, because you need to take a picture of both directors. And the boss fight in the boss rush is against a single of the directors.
Yep, so this is boss rush. You're fighting every main boss in the game with one hit hero.
Yep. These are boss fights that Banana will be familiar with.
Ah, I know them.
You didn't sound too excited about it.
I love me some Mafia boss. Unfortunately, there's no... Wait, is there Toilet of Doom in this? I can't even
Yes.
remember.
There is. I've never done that too quick.
Bit unfortunate, but that is a pretty hard version of quick kill. Unfortunately. So that would have skipped this phase, similar to the quick kill that was performed in Encore Encore.
I got pretty good RNG though.
I think the other bonus is not missing a hit at all. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yep. So out of all the bosses, not allowed to miss a single chance to hit any of them. Which isn't a problem until Mustache Girl. Some weird things can happen in Mustache Girl.
Here, this quick kill.
Yes, so this is Groove's quick kill. the trigger for starting the fight is a box that kind of covers most of the exit way of that elevator. But by doing a umbrella swing and lagging at the same time, you kind of teleport forward, and you're like on one frame, on one side of the box, and on the other frame, you're on the other side of the box, and so you don't actually hit the trigger.
Yeah, the teleport
Similar
forward.
to, like clipping in.
The teleport forward is like 100 pixels, so it's not a lot. It's just barely
It's
enough.
very precise, which is why you have to do the sort of Ocarina of Time setup with the umbrella swings, which is pretty unique in this game, which is pretty cool. And then defeating grooves that way, each boss has like a weird secondary health for like just their entity in general. So getting up onto the stage and just hitting grooves a whole bunch outside of the fight eventually defeats grooves and gives a timepiece.
It actually doesn't work that way for Mafia boss. You can get out of bounds and get to him and not be able to kill him. At least in the normal Mafia boss level.
Each boss has like a different weird gimmicky health kind of thing, and for some reason just works with grooves, which is very good.
You can technically do the quick kill for Toilet, but I haven't figured that out. I think I saw Headstrong actually pulling it off without taking damage, but she was just accidentally doing something random. I'm gonna check that out to see if I can actually figure it out. But so far we haven't figured it out.
Yeah, so there is a quick kill on Toilet where when he jumps on this cherry, if you get between him and the cherry, it lands on your head. You can kind of just walk him off the cherry. There's a very consistent setup to do it by jumping into the acid in the middle at a pretty lenient timing, but obviously that's going to do damage, and with one hit hero, that's not good. And there's a much harder version where you can just like dive cancel under the toilet as he's falling and kind of YOLO walk him off. And then we've got Snatcher. Snatcher has a pretty decent quick kill where for some reason you can just hit him from standing in this general area, and once he becomes vulnerable, you're gonna do a bunch of hits and hopefully he doesn't hit you while you're hitting him. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, it's a weird quick kill, and it works differently on different patches, and interestingly they've patched it differently on Deathwish. So like in original Deathwish patches, you could do the old version of the quick kill in the boss rush, but not on the EX version of the boss fight. And in this Nyaxa, you can do this version of the quick kill on the boss rush, but not on the EX versions. There's a couple of stuff like that where they've patched stuff in Deathwish, but not in the main game, which is interesting.
It's similar in like Bird Sanctuary, right? Because you can still do the lag SDJ to skip to the end, but in the Deathwish version, you get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
So that was a little unfortunate. During the quick kill, Snatcher really wanted to hit Albie, and so she wasn't able to get all the hits that she needed.
Yeah, I took it a bit safe too.
Yeah, you can kind of risk it, but you know, in a marathon setting, it's better to just take the small time loss instead of dying.
You can get bad enough RNG that you still fail it, even when you're just tanking damage. But that's not an option when you have one hit hero badge on.
Yeah, it's kind of an all or nothing situation.
And one thing I like to do here is I like to move a lot so I can see the reticles. Because sometimes when I'm standing still, I don't see them because they start very small.
You didn't get Slapsy.
Yeah, I know. I really should have went for Slap C. It would be so successful.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, if you die, it spawns you back in the throne room, so it's like mega unsuccessful.
Yeah. So there's in the normal fight, like in any percent all-time pieces categories, you can do a death abuse on the final hit of the throne room, and it like activates a checkpoint to just start the fight, and you skip that kind of black void area, but it doesn't really work with one-hit hero in Deathwish. So you just have to do it as normal.
Another thing to think about in this level is the cherries don't have nearly as big of an explosion radius in Deathwish. For some reason.
Yeah, for some reason they're really nerfed. In like normal boss fights, you can just throw them from ages away and they'll do the damage, but this you kind of need to be really close to them. It affects this fight, it affects Toilet.
The stomping attack, you don't actually need to hit her, technically. But I managed to get on a cycle where I could.
Yeah, that was very nice.
I think I forgot to photo Mustache Girl. I usually do it at the start of the Hyperzone phase.
Yeah, I think you did as well, now that you mention it.
That's fine.
Luckily, we get to see Mustache Girl again later. Hooray.
Not as big as me trying to figure out what random enemy I'm gonna photo. Let's do this.
Alright, killing two birds, very similar to the DJ Grooves. Quick kill.
You can do this right side, and I used to do it right side, but I don't remember how I made the setup work. So I'm gonna do the cringe thing here, where I'm gonna go around the volume to go right side. I'll figure out the right side setup again at some point. Yeah, 5 out of 6 I'm missing Mustache Girl.
So it would, in theory, be faster to hit both of these at the same time, but one of the bonuses for this level is concentrate on one boss at a time, and so we need to defeat one boss before moving on to the other. And interestingly, it's very, very difficult to get both bonuses in this level.
Actually,
one of them is... Sorry, yeah, go.
Before this quick kill, we would actually do this twice, always. I don't think anyone ever gotten it. I don't think anyone has ever pulled clear of this level without this quick kill.
I think Moja and Doka have. They doing like very specific things during the fight can make it possible, but it's very, very hard and not realistic. The requirements are, as I said before, defeating one boss and then the other, so that just takes longer. And then there's a phase where there's a bomb timer and you have to like win with so much time on the clock, and it's just very, very tight.
I was so tempted to hit the reset button and I didn't, and I got rewarded for it because that would have failed.
Anti-greed.
But there we go.
Oh.
I unlocked the Snatcher coins because we're gonna do a long level here. You even see there, survive for 6 minutes, which means that we have to be in it for 6 minutes. We don't have any way to cheese it. However, as you see, we are cheesing it anyway. Not the actual requirement to complete in 6 minutes, but we're gonna go out of the boss arena.
So yeah, by grabbing those cherries, you're able to get a cherry hover when the fight starts. And then the arena that you actually fight Snatcher in is not the arena that you walk up to the timepiece in. So when Albie lands, her safe spot is set in the original arena, and then she's able to do a lag warp because the cherries throw up into the air. Lag walked back to the original arena, and now she's back like in Subcon Forest, like the main level part. And as she said before, she's activated the candle for the 3 coins to appear around the world. So she's going to go do that instead of spending quality time with Snatcher. He really wants you to just stay there for 6 minutes, but unfortunately we have coins to collect.
Yeah. It's not like avoiding the attacks is super interesting anyway. If you look at old runs where we used to just avoid the attacks, we used to just stay in one corner pretty much.
Yeah, there's like a quote-unquote safe spot where the only attack that can really get you is one that throws you up in the air and stun you a little bit, so you just every now and then you just jump. It's like...
There's one more attack. There's one more attack that can hit you. It's the one that has the circle spinning around. That one can hit you anywhere in the arena.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's still very mind-numbing.
Yeah. It's not actually guaranteed to target you in that area, though. So it's more like keeping you alert rather than actually being something that necessarily gets in your way. Oh, you saw one of those attacks there for some reason.
That was pretty cool, yeah.
Sometimes they just randomly appear for some reason. The other way that they impact me is that you maybe saw it a bit, but I got tripped up there for a little bit from one of the attacks knocks you up into the air if you're on the ground. So if I'm on the ground as that attack is happening, it's affecting me even though I'm nowhere close to Snatcher. There we go.
Cool interaction. Like that. Like that.
Yep. And the cool interaction there of the climb is usually I try to set up the jump so I don't have that happen, but I messed it up a bit. I don't need to do these slides, but they're fun. Whoa!
They're fun, and like the angle of this camera being static and making dive boosts really hard, it's a decent way to get around.
Yeah.
It's cooler than just dive cancelling, that's for sure.
It's not just the camera being static, because there's actually a strat you can do this level where you talk to the badge seller and it will fix your dive boosts. You can dive boost normally.
Ah, interesting.
So it's just straight up like, for some reason there's only very specific angles that you can dive boost in this state. But if you talk to the badge seller, it puts you back in a normal state where you can dive boost normally. I don't do it in this category because it's so easy to get all the coins in the timer, and the brief time that you speak to badge seller, even though you immediately go out of his menu, that actually stops the timer.
Minor time loss, very important.
Yeah, extremely minor. And not going for that strat means that I do have to go around with bad dive boost, but it saves a tiny bit of time.
Really did not want you to climb that dweller there, the game.
Yeah, and I used to not hit these spells, but it's so much easier when you hit these spells. Yeah, I have 2 minutes now to get on top of Vanessa's Manor and get the final coin. Do you think you can make it?
I don't know. Might get a bit lost in this big open area with the manor in the middle.
Yeah. It's such a small manor, it's hard to find it. There we go. Now everyone can stretch a bit, maybe drink some water, I don't know.
Yes, got about a minute until we're allowed to leave this level, and similar to Cruising with a Bruising, there's no timepiece, right? You just leave.
In both levels, there actually is a timepiece, but you don't have to grab it. So Cruising for a Bruising, you would have to wait until all your tasks run out, and then you talk to the dude, and then the timepiece spawns, but it doesn't do anything. And then in this level, once the timer is over, at least the first time anyway, the timepiece spawns. But again, you don't have to grab it. why we can do this strat, where we're just not in the arena.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, big trust. Even though right now nothing's happening, this strat was much cooler than what it would have been.
Yeah, it would be a very similar experience to this, but some attacks happening in the background for the entire 6 minutes otherwise.
For the entire 6 minutes, yeah, not just like a minute and a half.
Or the safe strat before would have been to just use jumpless and just do the reset.
True.
And that may, or it probably wouldn't count for jumpless since you would have to go into the timepiece afterwards. But it would have been the safe way to do it. I never did it because I found it always easy enough to avoid the attacks anyway.
Alright. So this is Snatcher EX, the kind of the Deathwish version of Snatcher. But interestingly, we do this in most other categories as well. Not this variant, but Snatcher's timepiece exists just out in the wilderness as an area you get teleported to, much like how I said you get teleported to his arena when you fight him. His timepiece is just kind of out there because there's a whole cutscene you interact with him. And if you get that timepiece, it counts as getting the timepiece of the level, and interestingly, it also counts as getting the timepiece even if you're doing Deathwish.
Yep.
And so now Albie's done the setup to be able to just dive off into the abyss, and it seems like, she's not going to hit anything, but I'm assuming this setup is good. I don't know this particular setup.
Yeah, I had to go a bit to the side. I went maybe a bit too much to the side, but fine. Landed in the volume, and that's what matters. So the interesting part here is that going to this part of the level to finish EX Snatcher is not very intuitive, since this is where you get if you clear the regular Snatcher level. You don't actually get here if you do Snatcher EX level, but I was the one who found that you can do it for Snatcher EX, and I think it was Super Inklink who went into the code afterwards and found that the reason for this is because all the Snatcher boss timepieces are labeled the same in the code. So as long as you get any Snatcher boss timepiece while in this level, it counts for finishing this level.
And that's very good because all the bonuses and stuff are pretty dumb for this level, I believe.
Yep. You have to only throw blue potions, so it's extra long.
Yeah, you just have to wait for him to give you a bunch of blue potions, and you're just trying to survive the whole time.
Here's another interesting thing. One of the stamps here is do it hatless. Also, that's faster than starting the fight normally. But one of the stamps is doing it hatless, and as you're gonna see here, I'm using hats.
Don't forget the camera.
Yeah, I'll do it after here. So because I'm doing resets like this, it resets the fact that I failed the hatless stamp. So that way I'm allowed to do hatless when I shouldn't be able to. So the bonuses here are to do it. It's to do it hatless and to do it in this hyper zone section in under 3 minutes. Which makes the reset actually kind of convenient, because it means that the IL timer resets to only be going through the friggin' hyperzone section, so you have an exact timer for how long you have.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. That laser phase is weird. Yeah, when you're fighting her normally, well, this whole phase I mean, you can normally throw a brawl potion at her, but she's just immune. The only thing that would hit her during that is like the ball.
What am I doing? That's fine.
That's fine.
Don't have to do the throne room phase again. It just respawns you in the hyperzone phase. And you don't have to be on default path like me, but I'm just doing it just on the off chance that I like accidentally tap my hat ability button for some reason. That way I get the reaction from the default hat, which is the only one that you're allowed to use the hat ability because it doesn't really do anything to influence the fight. All the other hat ability.
Nothing around here.
Yeah, that's all you get. You get that message. I thought I could cheat it.
Are the cherries still broken in, like, even in this fight?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I forgot that she didn't have the shield. Yeah, it's just when you have Deathwish on in any fight. So that includes actually the regular Mustache Girl fight.
Yeah.
That's why it worked like that in Boss Rush. So yeah, in 110% we turn on Deathwish for the regular Mustache Girl fight for consistent slapsy. Or reset C, I guess.
Right, yeah.
So because of that, we actually have the bad Deathwish version of the cherries in the regular Mustache Girl fight in 110%. Oh my god. I'm gonna... That should be enough.
During this phase, yeah, she's able to stall a little bit to wait for health upon to come like that.
I'm doing it on the laser attacks that are easier to avoid. We go 238, now we're close.
Nice.
Fold it out a bit just for some extra safety.
Yeah.
Went up one half too much, but that's fine. Go. We'll clear the level.
Don't use any of your stupid hat abilities.
Yeah, I totally didn't use them at any point.
This is our first community rift, I believe.
Yep. I could have done these with the other rifts, but I wanted to do the more difficult levels first.
So similar to... These are like design-wise very similar to the Rift Collapse, but there's no timer. And the bonus is getting all of the pitches. So not only do we need to get all the golden ponds, we also need to get all the collectible pitcher frames.
You even have
Which is
the
cool.
official name of them on the screen and you still chose a different name.
Oh yeah, they are storybook pages. I did not know this. Look, it's not my job to read, it's my job to talk. Right?
Yep.
Spreading false information on the internet. What's new?
Very true. I'm gonna do this actually.
Aw.
Un-
Huge galaxy brain.
Unconventional enemy to photograph, but it was a new enemy. So I don't have to think about that anymore. Failed the DSJ, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I guess we never really talked about the movement. We can do that now while we're going through this level. So the sprinting is the general good movement, but dive boosts are one of our fastest forms of movement. Using the sprint hat is really good because there's a bunch of tech we can do with the sprint hat. One of those is a sprint double jump, SDJ, where you carry the momentum of a sprint into your regular double jump. It allows you to go pretty far. You're able to combine this with lag to get a lag SDJ, and you go even further. Very commonly, we go for DSJs, which are a double sprint jump. So instead of a sprint double jump, it's a double sprint jump. You do them off edges, and you essentially just get 2 sprint jumps, like back to back, very quickly. Gives you a little bit more height than a regular sprint jump, but it is generally better than a sprint double jump because they're faster. Sprint jumps are one of our fastest forms of movement. And then we can get a TSJ, a triple sprint jump, which kind of combines both ideas. You get a DSJ, and then you get like an extra normal jump, so you go super high. We're able to use that to get a bunch of height. Can you combine that with an ultra jump and get like a TSJ ultra jump?
I am actually going to do that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Did I get that? I think I did.
I think you did.
I'm just going to double check.
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't paying enough attention.
So yeah, by doing a triple sprint jump, so a DSJ off an edge, and then adding on an extra normal jump, and then combining that into an ultra jump, which we did in Gauntlet earlier, we're able to go like ridiculous, insane heights that are just not intended. And this is why, for 99% of basically any Hat in Time speed run, we're wearing sprint hat, because not only do we just get to sprint around, it's also all of the jump tech we're allowed to do. Every other hat, there's some cool things we can do with ice hat, with like ice hat slingshots and lag shots, but they're very situational. Every other hat kind of has no movement associated with it.
Ice hat slingshots are actually faster movement, but yes, Banana mentioned they're very situational because you need a slope.
Yeah.
And it's actually later in this level that you're gonna see me do the TSJ ultra jump. Wait, no, I'm lying. I'm doing an ultra jump in this level, but it's the next level where I'm doing the TSJ ultra jump.
I think this one and the Twilight Travels kind of just combine in my brain.
Trying to hit those with projectile badge is annoying.
Oh wow, you can even get the storybook pages with projectile badge. It's pretty cool.
Not the only one that I'll be getting with that. This route is cool because you grab the last thing right before the pipe. You don't have to drop off 2 times. I could have gotten that with projectile badge, but I wasn't thinking.
The general idea of these like pond rift collecting levels is each room has like set ponds in set locations, and to move on to the next level you need to have a particular amount of ponds, and they carry over between rooms. So casually you can kind of just collect as many as you want, given that the pipe will unlock for you. But because we're doing all stamps, we need to get every pond. So we haven't really been in the situation where we've done specific, getting faster ponds and leaving slower ones behind. We just have to get everything.
Yeah, so for the pawns, there's usually like one more than needed to finish each section. So every area you can leave a pawn theoretically and still make it to the end. I was thinking of the wrong pillar there for a second, so I stopped for a moment. I was like, wait a second.
Wait, this is the same level. I thought this was the other level.
Yep. So that's the ultra jump I was talking about. Yep. That was an SDJ ultra jump with a lag SDJ.
Lag SDJ ultra jump. So yeah, you know, being able to combine all these types of weird jumps together just to go crazy distances and heights really just allows us to break apart these levels that, yeah, clearly it's not just running from point A to point B. There's so much options to be able to get to all these ponds that it's really interesting from a routing point of view, because it's like we need to get to, say, these 10 points to get these ponds, but how we get there is kind of up for debate, and, you know, takes a lot of time to route and determine what's the fastest option, because we have so many movement options in this game.
Yeah, I almost did a massive reroute of this level with ultra jumping, which would have been so sick, but unfortunately it was like 3 seconds slower. From the section where I jumped up with an ultra jump, you can ultra jump to get to the very highest pawn, and it's actually slower. Barely.
Damn.
Yep. Just lag dive boosts into the balloons. It's just so fast movement to get across that even though you skip a lot of the climbing, it still turns out very slightly slower to go straight to the highest pawn there. Unfortunately. Otherwise, that would have been a really cool movement to show off. I guess I could always still
lag
do
dive
it.
boosting. Lag dive boosting is like, if you lag just before you initiate a dive boost, you just get a lot of extra speed, which on its own is often not super helpful, but there are circumstances, like I'll be saying, diving into a balloon, which can carry your momentum, can just take you super far. Sometimes it's helpful because lag dive boosts are frame 1, so you can use them to save your save point, your save spot. Yeah, you generally don't do them just willy-nilly, you do them circumstantially, but they are very powerful. Like that.
Barely not on a cycle for that. I don't know if you can get on the cycle for that. But here, Banana, you were excited for this.
Oh, this is it. So it's a TSJ activating an ultra jump to get all the way up here, then lag.
You don't need the lag. You don't need the lag. I was taking it safe. I actually got a really good ultra jump TSJ, so I could have definitely skipped the lag there. Sometimes in lag abuse, I just lag just for safety.
It's very worth it. The fact that a lag only adds on like 0.4, it's quite negligible, and sometimes this just makes things so much safer. Safer or easier, like sometimes like I often think of you know, in Birdhouse, sometimes you can just like do a momentum SDJ, which may be slower now, but you know, you can also lag SDJ it, and it kind of like, it doesn't really matter, but the lag SDJ is just safer, so you may as well.
I have to go down here and not ledge grab that. That's just a really convenient movement there, that the lag dive boost gives you just enough speed to hit that bird right
Yeah.
And this is where I was talking about way earlier. You can hit the 2 crows, like all the way back in Birdhouse, and you would be done here with hitting all the crows.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go out of my way to a separate level to finish it off. I didn't do that. That's why, even though it takes some time to kill those crows in the birdhouse, it just turns out faster just because there's not enough crows that you can optimally get to. Now we're doing a speedrun level, which is very easy for us.
Oh boy, I hope you can do the speedrun level.
Yeah, I don't know if I can finish this level in 1 minute and 20 seconds, which was intended for casual audiences to be able to do as well. Seems like too tight of a timer.
Yeah, the fact that Ice Hat takes you like straight to the end of this level as well is like
Yeah.
kind of funny.
What am I doing? Only reason I'm gonna be slightly close to the timer at the end is because this level is kinda capped on how fast you can go, because most of it is the auto-scroller.
Yeah, as long as you beat the guy to the scare points, you just basically doing it as fast as you can.
This is where we used to get the Snatcher coins, but because we got them all the way back in Collectathon, we don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, this is a pretty hard level if you don't really know the route. It's kind of hard to just wing. Finding time to defeat 10 Mafia guys while not using the time stop hat, so trying to full clear this can be pretty rough. You need to get all 4 vault codes. Each vault code sets your timer to 30 seconds. And so trying to decide which Mafias are, convenient enough to get to and quick enough to kill, because some Mafia guys just have more health than others.
It's just a single Mafia that you can kill in 1 hit.
I feel like some just, in general, have more health though, right?
No. They all have 4.
Gosh. I thought some had like 2 or 3. That's crazy. My world is being shook. I don't know anything about this game.
I think...
Why am I here? Why am I talking?
I think based on how long it took me to kill one, maybe these guys have less HP, potentially. That might be the only situation. No, they still have 4. I think it was like one time it felt like I only did 2 smacks for some reason. But no, he still has 4.
That's crazy. My world has been rocked. I've played this game for like 5 years, and I swear they had different health.
So here, I'm gonna do some lag clip.
Yeah, lag clip. We didn't really talk about lag clip, but Albie was doing it in Gauntlet to get out of bounds. Essentially, lagging or when doing a ledge grab causes you to clip through the wall that you're grabbing and through the floor. So you're able to quickly route out of the bedroom and into the laboratory, which connects to Nikusa Metro, and we need to come here for 3 coins, because unlike every other world, there's not a Deathwish that brings you here. You have to come here manually. Similar to what we did with Lava Cake, but there's no quick spawn to Lava Cake.
Another thing you're noticing here is I started the jumpless stand. I'm gonna finish the final jumpless level here. A little early. Get them.
Yeah, because the jumpless bonus doesn't specifically require you to do death wishes. You can just do well, it's intended that you do normal levels, not death wishes. And so we're able to get this relatively quick timepiece because it's right next to this snatcher token.
And as you've noticed, I have routed out Welcome to Mafia Town. So that's really cool. Finally, a category where you don't have to do Welcome to Mafia Town.
Welcome to Mafia Town.
Forgot to turn that
I think. Did all stamps used to do cheating the race for
no.
jumpless? Okay.
It used to do this level and Welcome to Mafia Town before Killing Two Birds jumpless.
Right. Yep.
Cheating the race would be the next fastest though after Welcome to Mafia Town.
Yeah, and this level is very much abused by lag clips because the whole level is kind of just exists, and so you're able to get down to these tunnels when you clip out of bounds. And there's a lot of small little walls you can ledge grab up near the main area.
This is
very useful.
This is the extra level I was talking about earlier that I have to enter to kill some crows. Now we're going into illness speedrun.
Get ready. Go!
I'm gonna full clear it as well as getting the final coin that I haven't gotten in Alpine yet.
So yeah, they make the zip lines very fast in this. Normally you would kind of just go along the zip line at a moderate pace, but in Speedrun Well it's like super fast, super speed.
Yep, another thing you're noticing is I'm jumping off the zip lines fast sooner than you're supposed to be able to. So I'm basically grabbing the zip line as I'm doing a ledge grab, and then that allows me to get into a weird state where I can jump off the zip line early, which is great because not only does it let you get faster across sometimes, but it also means that my hazard respawn point will be back at the original island. So what you're gonna see me do here is I'm gonna smack this flower and then I'm gonna jump off and be all the way back to the original island immediately. Really convenient.
Yeah, so it's meant to set like what island you're on at the end of the zipline, but like I'll be saying, you cancel that update just by jumping off early, because they're kind of checking to be like, oh well, then you didn't make it, right? And then it's like, well, no, I made it, but the game doesn't do that.
Yeah, I had to do it back up there. I had to think of it. Oh, I did it. Because I failed the plan in the grabbing as I ledge grab, so I had to do the old strat of re-equipping the hookshot.
Old.
Yep. I finally stopped doing that strat very recently.
I've never learned the ledge grab strat. That's how old of a player I am. And so, illness generally... Sorry, Alpine has 4 areas, and illness is meant to be like, oh, and I go to all the areas, but you only go to 3. So I was going to come up here and get the final token, and then head over to the final flower in Lava Cake. That was crazy. What?
I forgot that you can take double damage from that. I routed it like that because it's technically faster, but I'm gonna stop routing it like that since you can take double damage if you mess it up.
Huh, that was crazy.
If you do it correctly, you won't take damage. That was still not correctly, but it's good enough. I'm just gonna do that. I'll jump down here.
That's okay. We just get to chill in illness more. Hooray.
Yeah, everyone's favorite level.
Yep. It's not... I doubt it's very much on Albie's radar, but there is like a point of concern that if you fall at all during this level, you're going to go back to the start because... Oh, never mind. Like we were saying, you've set your island respawn to Goat Village, the very first island. So if you fall going to a flower, it's still that same thing.
Yeah, it helps that I'm using no bunk badge nowadays here. Because that's how I get up to that other...
Right, yeah.
So it makes it a lot safer, and I failed it again. Damn it. This time I'm not re-equipping no bonk, because I don't really have a reason to. I am gonna go and grab this though, just because I can.
So yeah, the old strat that Albie was talking about with getting off those zip lines is just unequipping or re-equipping hookshot, or I think even changing the badge slot hookshot's on counts.
Yep, that's what I did.
Yeah, so it makes the game think that you can't be ziplining anymore and you just drop off. If you do that sort of towards the end of the zipline, but not enough for it to count as reaching the next island, it's very generous. You can just dive cancel and land on the island and you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know why I got the final flower version of that area for some reason there, but...
Yeah, it was weird. You have the second flower version of Birdhouse as well, so I don't know.
Probably something with the fact that I did most of the level and then I had to redo it.
Yeah, probably. This way for the lava cake.
Yep, except we don't go to the lava cake. We get to
Sad.
see the lava cake in the distance there.
There it is, the lava cake. We were there earlier.
Mm-hmm. And this won't actually burn you.
Yeah, the fire in the house is aesthetic. Nice slide off the roof and you can like land on that little tree to get to the island, which is pretty cool. Pretty awesome that the timer keeps going through this cutscene.
Yep. Especially since the speedrun level to finish it in a certain time. Luckily, we get nowhere close to the timer because of our skips. Even though we grab the coin in that level. Just... with the amount of time we save from the skips, it just never ends up being a problem. I'm gonna actually do this. I don't remember if there's any point where it's gonna matter, but I don't have the ability to jump too much in this level. I can jump a bit, so I'm gonna do that for safety.
Yeah, I think the final bonus is doing this in 7 or less.
Yeah.
So this is basically identical to speedrun on She Came From Outer Space that we did earlier, but you just need to kind of restrict how many jumps you do. The jumps out of water that Albie did earlier don't count. It's just jumping now will.
Yep. Another thing here that I discovered recently is this jump I'm going to do here with a double jump. You can actually make that with a regular sprint jump, but I haven't started figuring that out enough. Eventually I might do that to save a bit of time. So I can do one more jump earlier. There we go. That's those levels. Now I'm gonna grab some snatcher coins that I couldn't ever grab them during a level. I was in Security Breach before, but I couldn't unlock being able to grab the snatcher coins until after I did Security Breach, so there wasn't really a good opportunity to grab this. I'm also gonna do that for the Hood Nanny coin.
Yeah, just the way the map and requirements are, you can't do these 2 coins before doing the levels, so we have to do them now. Luckily, they're pretty quick.
There we go. That's all the requirements, except for all stamps. The seal the deal boss rush here. The 3 last stamps are all in this boss rush. So just full clear this, and it's over. So
Good luck. So what are the 3 things here? I don't remember.
Don't use any of your hat abilities, and never go down to 1 HP.
Right. Yes. So all of the powered up bosses are here. So Mafia Boss EX from Encore Encore. We got Killing 2 Birds, Mustache Girl EX, and the Snatcher EX that we skipped earlier.
Yeah, it's actually a different version of the Snatcher EX fight that is slightly more difficult.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I usually call it Ultra Snatcher at least. I don't know if that's like an official term, but just like the other Snatcher Deathwish boss fight, we can we can do it in all the Snatcher fights actually. We can do the skip, but in the boss rush one, it not only do we need to photograph Snatcher during one of the fights, so we need to get into this fight at some point, but also it's just straight up slower, even if you don't have to photograph, to just do the skip, because it takes so long with the cutscene that you have to watch for the skip. But then ends up faster to just kill him in the arena and during boss rush.
The quick kill is just so fast.
Yep. Because because the DLC 1.5 that we used to run Deathwish 90% on and do the quick kill on all of the versions of the Snatcher boss fight. It's still faster on that patch to do the boss fight. But on Nyoxa versions, faster to do the skip. On the EX versions. Going 1 health lower there is a bit annoying, because optimally I don't get into the fight here, which means I should have 3 HP for Mustache Girl. Which is not great. I can work with it, but it's not great. Oh, I failed the skip. Okay, I guess I guess we're going in with a different amount of health. Who knows how much it will be.
From memory, these guys give you a bunch.
Yeah, this version of the fight for Seal the Deal is pretty easy, so it should be alright. The phases are so short, and you get health points after each phase.
Yeah, in these we didn't really mention it in boss rush, but in these, like, I guess boss rush levels, boss rush and Seal the Deal, the phases are just shorter.
Mm-hmm. Alright, they're saying
I remember doing this like in Deathwish 90%. It is, yeah, I would try and skip it and the same thing would happen. I'd be like, it's not that bad, because at least I could kind of, not guarantee, but be generally confident that I'd leave here with almost full health for Mustache Girl, because Mustache Girl can go very bad very quick. Can these guys desync during this fight?
Yep.
Or is that just killing two birds? Nice.
I haven't had
So,
to deal
yeah.
with that.
What I mean by that is, in general, these bosses are meant to be synced up so they're like in the same phase and then move on to the next phase at the same time. But it is possible that the game kind of loses track in what each boss is meant to be doing. And one boss will move on to the next phase while the other boss stays in the current phase, and it kind of just screws up everything, makes things a bit slower. It's not a good time when that happens.
Yeah, that lost like a minute compared to getting the quick kill, but it also just means I have 1 more HP here, so it's gonna be less scary. Oh, very few close
This
to
is
me.
such a bagger.
I'm not thinking. A lot of projectile attacks from her in a row. I actually prefer the overall Feel the Deal track to the Mustache Girl track. The Mustache Girl track is still really good.
I think that's like a close second. I do love them both.
It's been a very fast Mustache Girl.
Enough.
And I'm also having full HP into this phase, which is really nice.
Yes, very nice.
I'm so good.
This used to also be like in Seal the Deal where you actually had to fight Ultra Snatcher. You would kind of try and grind health in this last phase.
I'm gonna
But
still do
it's-
it, because normally I go down a lot of HP. I think I can do it with 3 HP actually. But I think
like from the hover.
yeah. I think normally I go down to 2 HP, so I think I would have to rethink how I do one of the things. It would probably just mean I have to land on the cherry when dropping down from the first hover. Yeah, just to be safe. Or like dive cancel at a good time for the second. But I like to have extra HP just to not have to think about it. There we go. Got the hover off. I'm gonna look down at the snow, I guess. I call it snow anyway. So I know when to drop. So yeah, that should be good. Yep, going far enough. Looks like I'm the right angle roughly. Oh, I'm like straight at it.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think yeah, I think I have to
That's-
go
yeah.
around like this.
Yeah, Snatch is in like some horseshoe-shaped box. So if you land in the box, you actually need to go back, down, and around, and it's kind of unlucky, but
Yeah, when
it's fine.
I hit the timepiece here, the time's gonna be over. So it's just gonna be this cutscene for a bit, and then the timepiece is gonna spawn, and I'm gonna jump into it. And the moment I hit the timepiece, that's all time's over.
That's time. Coming up.
And time.
GG. Well done.
Thank you.
You have collected all the stamps.
Yep. To show it off here, you get a little the push complete here. I'm grabbing all the stamps.
Yep. Well done. Very nice run.
Yeah, I had a pretty generous estimate in case I like failed boss rush or something, and I also forgot that I used to do runs on my old computer, which had longer load times than this one. So it was I created a bit of a generous estimate, but that's fine.
It's a very RNG heavy run as well, though. Like a lot can go wrong, I feel like. So
Yeah. Really
think that's fine.
difficult for a lot of RNGs, so it's nice to have a little bit of leeway there. Yeah, thank you all for the GGs. And that's all of Deathwish all here. You can talk to him here.
You're not dead?
Surprised that we went through it all.
Useless, Sue. You completed all my contracts, but somehow you're still alive to pester me. Thanks, I guess. Really, that's just great. Congratulations.
He's very happy for us, as you can tell.
Look, kid, we've done this before. You really need to learn to negotiate up front. I get the feeling you're not going to leave me alone unless I hand over something. It's always about you. Huh? You know, you weren't even supposed to make it this far.
I forgot how long this was.
I've never talked to him in this situation. What a yapper.
At least you have the feeling you achieved something. You earned it. If it wasn't clear, our business
Oh, yeah, another one.
is concluded. Go bother someone else, kiddo.
There we go. That was a lot longer than I expected.
Oh yes, well done. Good run.
Mhm.
Very cool. Smug dance for the end.
Hell yeah. Even yeah, there we go. Get some cool music in here. Some cool relaxing music. Then I'm gonna